There is a drug epidemic happening here in America. Our fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews are dying each and every day. Enough is enough. It's time to fight back. Welcome. You are now about to witness the beginnings of the underground church in America. Our government has been infiltrated with Luciferians, and our cities have been infiltrated with madness. They want our heads. They want our silence. This is our response in Christian resistance. We are a select few of Christian soldiers, and we need to know, are you down? And now, for the minister.
Super Soldier!
Gangsters! What's up, guys? Welcome back! Welcome to Paranormal Story Time. I might even do a little folder of paranormal stories. I got a few, but this particular one takes place in we tried to figure out what time this happened, like what year. The best we could figure it out was like 2015, 2014, 2016, around there, because my son was with me at the time, and we're trying to figure out how old he is. So, how old he was when this happened, So anyways, it was in the late afternoon after work, and I was, my Mrs. Soda Jerk, right? She's always worked nights, and so she was gone, like around 7:00 in the afternoon, and I was just laying down on bed and in my room in the house that we live in now, and the dresser is like in the corner, and the TV was on top of the dresser, and my son, he came in to ask me something, and he saw what I was watching, and he stuck around interested in him, and he lay down, and we're laying on the bed looking at TV, and all of a sudden something caught my eye in the corner, and it was a hand, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was making some kind of motion, and I just stayed locked on. Like, fear didn't come over me or nothing, but I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And my son, he rolled over slowly and looked at me, and he says, "Are you seeing this?" And I'm like, I'm still looking. I'm like, seeing what? And he says, a hand, right? And just as soon as he said that, I mean, the hand, it just dissolved. It just dissipated, And I just couldn't believe my eyes. If I was by myself, I probably would say that I'm just tripping. You know what I'm saying? That I really didn't see what I saw, but since there was somebody else there to confirm it and saw the same thing I saw, I knew that what I was seeing was real, right? So did you know that a disembodied hand is, I'm not the first person to see that, that it's actually biblical, that in the book of Daniel, chapter 5, that, Belshazzar, King Belshazzar was, thumbing his nose at God, and, he was, having a party that lasted for days, and anyways, they had seen, the people at the party seen a hand, and it was writing on the wall, and that's where you get the phrase, we see the writing on the wall, and anyways, they got Daniel to interpret it, and it said something like, the interpretation was something like, not word for word, but it was something like, your kingdom has come to an end, you've been weighed in the balance and came up short, came up wanting, and I think it says in the last part, and I'm not too sure, something about your kingdom will be given to the Medes and the Persians, but I'm not exactly sure. You can go see it. It's in the book of Daniel. You can go read it for yourself. It's a good read, okay? And so anyways, what was happening at that time of my life was I was doing good. I was going to church. When the church was open, I was in there, whether it was prayer night on Tuesday, whether it was Wednesday night service, whether it was Sunday. You better believe when the church doors were open, I was in there. I was having church. I was the assistant pastor. I was doing, I thought, but there was some people around town, some addicts, and some things came up missing, and at that time I was real frustrated with them, and I was like, get a job, work like everybody else. I wasn't having compassion, like I would hold myself up like if I was somebody, right? Because I would go to church and I was like, if I was somebody, right? And one time I was talking to my mom, and my mom said, we're talking about a certain individual, and I said, how did they ever become a drinker, And my mom looked at me and she said, soda jerk. Well, she didn't call me soda jerk because my mom doesn't call me. She calls me by my name. She looked at me and she said, you were a drug addict and an alcoholic. And I was like, I was, I was, but I was trying to, I don't know what had happened to me, when I had became saved, and then down the road some, I had built myself up like if I was making myself like righteous, like if I was, that's what they call self-righteous, and you can't be a Christian and treat people like dirt, you know what I'm saying? And think that you're high above them. And so anyways, it's been a learning experience. My Christianity has been, I've been walking it out, and it was a real eye-opener learning experience for me. So I prayed. I started praying, and through the prayer, I got compassion, and through the compassion that I got for people, and then soon after, I started going to the jails, my local jail here, and started preaching to addicts, And this last Sunday, I mean, it was really good, we had such a good time, and at the jailhouse. And so anyways, now that's what I think that the hand meant, and I'm thinking God was trying to tell me, you've been, if you're weighting the balance, you're going to come up short, and we never want to come up short, but anytime that we are weighed into the balance, we do come up short, because either Jesus is going to be your advocate or he's going to be your judge, and so that kind of cleaned up my act. I have total compassion now for, the lost, and yeah, so anyways, that's my story. But I got some more stories. That happened to me in that very same corner, as a matter of fact. In that very same corner a couple years prior. And that there's something going on in that corner of my room, okay? As a matter of fact, when I bought the house in that corner, we saw the house, wanted it, but the bank made me paint the trim on the house. And when I was painting the trim, I was always drawn to that corner. Like there's some kind of energy in that corner. I'm not saying bad energy, but there was some kind of energy. And I just figured that the owner the lady that lived there, she's probably slept there. She's, she was there all the time, or, I kind of got that feeling. But anyways, I think I'm going to make a folder of the paranormal stories, that happened, I'm saying. And if you're interested in the stories that I got to say, the paranormals, I got to say, I got some here in Texas, some in California. Let me know down in the comments. I think that's what the Lord was trying to tell me was, that I was coming up short, in my walk with Christ, but I could be totally wrong, what I'm saying. Until next time.